Hey coin collectors and welcome to DC Coin World International coin channel. We're going to talk about this nickel today, the 1981 Philadelphia Jefferson nickel from the United States. We're going to talk about what's going on here where the rim is doubled and then there's no rim on this side and whether that adds any value to it. And then we're also going to talk about a couple other coins. We're going to talk about this coin here, which is the proof coin from 1981. And you can see this is one of the nicest coins you're ever going to see. And just a beautiful nickel. We're going to talk about this one here, which is the Denver Mint version with the D there. And then we're going to talk about this coin. It's a 1980 Canada 5-cent coin. And we'll take a look at it, go through it, talk about the beaver on the back, and talk about what's special about this coin compared to the US coin and what's different about them. All right, well, let's start right off with that 1981 Philadelphia Jefferson nickel. In Philadelphia in 1981, they made 657.5 million, essentially 2/3 of a billion nickels, 75% copper, 25% nickel. The auction record for one of these is about $6,000, and they actually have one that they've graded by PCGS that they've graded and valued at $6,000. If you get this a little bit lower to a mint state 65, it's worth $550. Now, when you talk about the high number values, one of the things you have to have for that is the full steps. And you can see right here there aren't any full steps on the back. What do full steps look like? Well, one way to do it is to look at the proof coin and see what the steps look like on that. And you can see how they kind of come through down here. And so when you have all of these steps on a regular coin, it makes the value go up astronomically. So if it's worth $6,000 for the best of the full steps coins, what's it worth if you had a really, really good one of these and it didn't have all the full steps? It would bring you down to about $100+. So huge difference between full steps and not full steps. They also made these at the Denver Mint, and if you want to see the Denver ones, you look for the D right here. This is what they call a Phil D, and it doesn't really add any value to it, but it's kind of funny to see it and try to figure out even what letter it is sometimes. At the Denver Mint, they made $365 million. The auction record is $633. But if you get one of these with a full steps on it, it's worth about $2,500 if you get it up to a mint state 67 with full steps. Now here's the deal. Because they didn't have that many great looking Denver coins in highly graded Denver coins from 1981, the no full steps version of this in the mint state 67 still worth $550. So there is some value to the Denver Mint coin, even if it doesn't have full steps, if it has everything else. I said one of the things we're going to do is talk about the difference between the Canadian coins from the 1980s and the US coins. And one of the big differences is, of course, Queen Elizabeth on the front and Thomas Jefferson. On the back, huge difference. We got Monticello on the American nickel, or the US nickel, and we got a beaver on the Canadian nickel, 5 cents. You see they're both cents coins with an S on the end. This one's Canada 1980, but the 1981 looks the same. And the beaver's gnawing on a log, and you can see the water here. Now, if you couldn't see these coins and tell the difference, there's another way to tell the difference, and that is the Canadian coin is magnetic. If we put a magnet on the Canadian coin, it picks it right up, takes it right up. But guess what? What if we put this magnet on the US coin? We're not going to be able to pick it up. Why is that? Well, the Canadian coin is 100% nickel and it's magnetic. It weighs 4.5 grams. The United States coin is 75% copper, 25% nickel. Now, why would they make them different? Well, Canada has some of the biggest nickel mines in the world, and so them using nickel really makes it easier for them to just source it. Of course, the U.S. has a lot more copper mines, but the other thing is that some people are allergic to nickel. And so you'll notice that the euro coins generally have very, very little nickel in them, and that is because of the allergies that some people have. So easier to use the mixed ones. People are not really allergic to these 75% copper nickels, and some people around the world are allergic to the 100% nickels. Now, they made it at one other mint, of course, and that's the San Francisco Mint. And at San Francisco, they made the proof coins. 4,063,083 proof sets. The auction record for a proof nickel, and that's, you can tell, how beautiful this is. It'll have the S there, of course, also, because San Francisco. For a proof nickel, there's two different types. There's some with what we call the big bottom S's on it, like this one. And there's some that have a big top S on it. The big bottom S's go for as much as $500. The big top on the S go for as much as $90. So huge difference when you get into good quality. Of course, we tip it up on the edge and we see it's a smooth edge. Get it over onto the back and we see that you can actually see the pen or see yourself in it. E pluribus unum at the top, Monticello here, and that's the name of Thomas Jefferson's home. 5 cents, and then United States of America down here. These coins are not hugely valuable, but this one right here is probably worth a few bucks. And I'm touching it, of course, because it came from a broken proof set, but in order to prove the value of this, you'd have to get it graded at PCGS. It costs you probably $40, and this one wouldn't be worth $40, so you'd never get it graded. Now let's go back to that doubling of the rim, and you can see it really well when we see it next to the proof coin. We see here that there's this almost 2 rims on this side here, and then if we go over to this side here, we see there's no rim at all. The coin got moved way over to the left, and the top actually didn't fit exactly on top of the coin. When you see a coin like this, it's really fun to keep them, but it doesn't add much value. Sometimes you'll see these for $1 or $2, maybe even $5 on eBay. Feel free if you really want one to get one, but collector's value doesn't change much on these. And let's look at the back, and you'll see something really funny. And that is, most of the rim is on the back, the whole thing. So it's just the front that's a little offset, and that's why we kept it, because it is of some value to us. And then way down here, we see a couple letters, and there's an F and an S down underneath Jefferson's neck, and that's for Felix Schlag, who was the engraver of these coins, which first came out in 1938. So look for these coins out there, the San Francisco one, the Philadelphia one, the Denver one, and feel free to look for some of the Canadian ones, because these beavers on the back are very, very interesting coins. That's all we have today from DC Coin World. Please subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you have in the comment section.